Hey friends, welcome back. It's Atif with TunerWorld here, and just want to make a quick little overview update video on the Grand National. I've got so many videos I'm finishing editing up, but I never really showed you all the complete engine bay. So I want to kind of make this quick video to give you an update while the bigger ones are coming out. So you can tell the shop's much cleaner now because this car is pretty much done and ready to go. So engine bays, a lot of little things I want to do still here and there, but overall, I'm very proud of the engine bay and how it came out. This was probably the thing I was the most proud of with the car. Sorry, it's a little dirty still. So overviews, like I said, right, I have the new intake from, I think, GN1 Motorsports. It's a cold air intake. We've got the MAF brand new from an LT1 3-inch MAF with the MAF translator. The chrome, so the up pipe, or the upper intercooler pipe right there, you can see the factory one. I was gonna shine that one up, but I feel like it was just not completing the look, so I went ahead. I think it was like $130 shipped to get this one, the TTC or something like that. I forgot the brand name, but I really feel like it did help complete the look of the engine bay. It's just the little things that always count, right? One thing can make a big difference. And funny enough, I'm really happy with the chrome stuff, but a lot of people always ask me about this as the first thing that catches their eyes. So in the other videos, we'll kind of see how I went about it. The factory one wasn't in bad shape. It just had a little bit of surface rust here and there. So all I did was I took it off, and I really took my time with the sanding all. So I wet sanded it, I think with 600, just really went at it, make it smooth. Once it was completely wet sanded with 600, I laid a few layers of high heat primer down. So no filler primer or anything, just a few layers of high heat primer. What I did was I let the primer dry. Then I wet sanded the primer very lightly. I think I used like 1,000 or 1,500 grit, right? Very lightly, because you don't want to sand through the primer, especially with like the corner edges with the metal. It'll easily go through. I made the primer as smooth as possible. Then I added my last coat, which is the Rust-Oleum high heat aluminum paint, which Derek gave me a recommendation, said it pretty much was like the exact color of the factory. And after that, right, I put a few layers of that down, let it dry up. And this is what I got. I didn't add any clear, I didn't wet sand this. It went on very smoothly, right? Again, it was all the prep work I did. So I'm glad that people really like that. I think it just really complements the chrome really well. As far as the turbo goes, all I did was add a little bit of polish to it, to shine it up. It's not a new turbo or nothing. The rest of it was all degreasing right over here. Boom. I love that. I love these valve covers so much. I'm actually going to be replacing the gasket. The gasket I used before. The Velcro was more designed for the factory. I'll show you right here. Like I said, I have all the factory parts. I don't want to touch it, my hands are clean, but I ain't no wimp. So you can see, right, the lip that the factory valve cover has. That Velcro gasket works perfectly with this because it sits right in between those two lips. It stays in place. That rubber gets pushed down and does not move. So factory valve covers, that Velcro gasket that you all saw in my earlier videos is perfect. Unfortunately for these, because you don't have that lip, you just have a metal surface. Let's see, this one would be a good example to show. Yep, it's almost exactly like this, right? There's not really this one has a little bit of a lip. I don't think that one has a lip at all. So maybe that gasket would work with this valve cover, but I think the other valve cover doesn't have the lip. I have to double check. It just didn't work too well. So, it worked for a little bit, but eventually I think the movements or the pressure, something caused that gasket to fail and it started pissing out oil. So we're going back to the cork. We're gonna follow up with the cork gasket and put a nice sealant on there and make sure everything stays perfectly, torque it down evenly, and it should be fine from there. But besides that, the valve covers came out beautiful, subtle, the breathers, super nice. Again, right, the fuel pressure regulator, the fuel rail is factory, injectors are factory, but nice subtle touch to that. And specifically on this side, so the factory valve cover, it had, I think this gets bolted onto that. So all I did was took the two zip ties, made a little L connection for the boost solenoid. I think it looks really good over there, right? The only time you ever have to use that hook is when pulling the engine out. So obviously if you have to pull the engine out, just cut the zip ties, whatever. But I mean, this stiff, nicely stiff on there. This one always stays open. The other one goes to the turbo. And then you have the block off for the breather on the turbo side. You don't want to leave that open. One, unfiltered air. Two, unmetered air after the MAF would cause the car to not run well. So it's nice, cleans this area up, normal oil in the intercooler, and that secondary breather right here just looks so nice. All right, it's pretty much as far as the engine bay goes. Oh yeah, aluminum radiator, right? Again, subtle, but it's there. Very proud of the engine bay on this car, so I wanted to share that with you all. I won't take up too much more of your time. What I'm going to do now is show you the inside. For those of you who haven't seen the complete inside, and again, me taking pictures of this in the daytime, it's got to vacuum it still. So essentially, right, got the key. There you go. Got my gauges right over there. Scan master turns on, connects, boom. Boost gauge is there. You can change colors. I just kind of like that color. I'm a blue guy, if you couldn't tell. I'm blue. Da ba dee da da. Shows you all the fun stuff. RPM is what I usually leave it at because we don't have an RPM gauge over here. And it's again right, subtle, nice. Get the black headliner, and let's do this. Let's quickly do a local startup. Haven't started in a long time and starts right up. Fuel injection, baby. Gotta love it. So air temp, the way I have the air sensor is giving you exact air temp from outside. RPM, TPS, IO control, O2 readings, tells you what gear you're in. Oh, why does it keep on focusing? There you go. Park, neutral, trans, AC, loop. So, yeah, well, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna keep it under 7 minutes. Stay tuned for the rest of the build. I'm gonna have longer videos coming up. Subscribe to the channel. Till next time. Peace.